So if you would, please stand and Myrtle, would you please lead us in prayer?
Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for all the many blessings you give us every day. Lord, we just thank you for sending your Son Jesus to die on the cross for us. And Lord, we just ask that you'll be with us during this meeting and that it would be held up to your specifications. And Lord, we just thank you again for your Son Jesus. These things we ask in thy name. Amen.
Amen. If you would remain standing, we'll say pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Anybody mail?
She didn't sit. Talked to her, she did you do it for the week.
What she had,
Just a big show.
If everyone would please mute or turn your phones off, we would greatly appreciate it. All right. All right, I'd like to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Brenda, would you please call the roll, please?
Mayor?
Here.
Myrtle? Here. Eugene?
Here.
John?
Here.
And Steve?
Here.
And Brenda is absent.
And we have a quorum, so we will
Yep, we have-
continue.
Yep.
All right. First off, let's review the minutes from the previous meeting.
All right, before we get started now, y'all, if you hear anything that sounds weird, I've been drunk for a month, so I've been coming back and forth trying to get all this stuff done, so. Okay. Regular meeting, November the 13th, 2017. Mayor Arthur Self called to order the regular meeting of the council at 7 p.m. November the 13th in the town hall. The invocation was given by Mr. Don Hagel. The roll call was had. The following persons were present: Mayor Arthur Self, Councilors Myrtle Van Cleek, Eugene Kiley, and Steve Brewer. Brenda Lowe was absent. Approval of the minutes. The minutes of the October 9th and October 12th meetings were read. A motion was made by Steve Brewer and seconded by Eugene Kiley to approve the minutes as read. Motion carried. The financial reports were given. A motion was made by Myrtle Van Cleek, seconded by Steve Brewer to approve them. Motion carried. Open issues. The notices have been placed on vehicles that have violated parking ordinances. The oath of office for John King was administered by the mayor for councilperson place 4. Mayor Self to contact Jefferson County addresses of dispatch for emergency services. Councilman Steve Brewer requested the town donate money for a Christmas party at the town hall on December the 23rd, 2017, from 6 until 7:30 for the children in our community age 2 to 10. Was that it, Sue? Okay. A motion was made by Steve to donate $300, seconded by Myrtle. Motion carried. A motion was made to adjourn the meeting by Myrtle Van Cleek, seconded by Eugene Kiley. Motion carried. Meeting adjourned at 7:45 p.m. Respectfully submitted, Brenda Philpott Clerk.
All right, we've had a couple of typos. The November 13th on paragraph 1.
Oh, yeah,
The 13th
I
was
just
left out.
I just,
Okay, what was the other one?
at the first line, I should have had the 13th there.
Okay. All right, under paragraph 6, that should, Councilman Steve Brewer, that should be paragraph 7.
Uh-huh.
And then adjournment should be paragraph 8. And on the adjournment little paragraph, motion to adjourn, meeting was made by Myrtle Van Cleet, seconded, and it should be one, should be
By, I see
BY.
that. I forgot the why.
Okay.
Told you.
All right.
Told y'all I was drunk.
Any other corrections or comments? All right. Do we have a motion to accept with corrections?
I make a motion we accept with corrections.
I second it.
All right, Steve made the motion, Eugene seconded. All in favor, raise your hand. All right, motion carried. Okay. Next up will be review of the financial reports, beginning with the capital improvements fund. The beginning and ending balance is $4,932.78. Next up will be the 4, 5, and 6 road account. Our beginning balance was $8,297.78, and the ending balance was $8,026.90.
What account was that, Mayor? 4, 5?
4, 5, and 6.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. Next is the 2 and 7 accounts, road accounts. Well, get it set right there. The beginning balance was $7,726.75. And the ending balance was $6,984.39. And last will be the general fund. Our beginning balance was $16,225.14. And the ending balance is $15,020.08. Any questions or comments on the financial reports? All right. Do we have a motion to accept?
Make a motion, accept. I second it.
All right, John made the motion and Eugene seconded. All in favor, raise your hand. All right, motion carried unanimous. Okay, reports to standing committees, none at this point. Special committees, I had none on here, but probably just talk for a couple of minutes about the children's Christmas party. And, just give a brief update, and detailed discussions can take place after we close the town business. But I know that we did provide a letter, and Scott has distributed the donation request letters to multiple businesses, and we've gotten some positive response. So the money fundraising is progressing. All right. Sue, how many children do we have?
Well, I've got 7 in hand.
Mhm.
I've got them all out, and the people aren't bringing them back. So after we have the town meeting, we're gonna decide a cutoff day and go from there. But, how much money do we have?
I've got 425.
And I have 75. I
And I
have
have
175.
And I have 140.
How much is that, Mayor? And then the 300 from the town.
Brenda, how much did you say you had?
Would you go in there, Marcia, and look on my keyboard? There's a check in there from Van.
Okay.
What's the number?
Oh, at least
Hey,
it's gonna
Scott,
add
what
them
was
up.
425.
Okay. You got 425?
And you had 140?
140?
Who's got
145,
140?
Sorry, 145.
Pardon?
145?
145.
445?
145 and 125.
570?
175. 50,
Is that including that
60,
$100?
No,
100 from Van and,
175.
So that'd be 275.
Yeah.
But we're trying to
No,
come up with
no,
$100
this is
a
just
child.
$175.
175? All right, I come up with 735.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not quite halfway there yet. Almost.
But I think we can do it, but whatever we come to, and it may come through and somebody just get real happy. But, that's our goal. If we get any over, we're gonna be positive and leave it in that account. That's what we're looking at right now. And everything's on go. I talked to Santa last night and he said he was going to be here.
Okay.
Well, I'm putting I only put $50 in the other night, so I'm gonna put another $50, so that will make, what?
And we've still got to go on that too
$7.95.
yet, so.
Hmm?
I've got some too, but I can't say no amount just right at the minute.
But as we go, but that's our goal.
That's right.
And what we'll do is, if what we get, we'll divide 15 into it, and then we'll go from there. See what,
Okay.
I'm gonna donate my retirement fund for tonight.
Huh?
I'm gonna donate my retirement fund for tonight.
Oh, you are? I haven't even written a check yet, but I'll do it.
Well, we may go then if Steve's gonna do that.
Yeah.
Well, we were just asking people if they would, do $100 per child, and so I've already put 50 in, but I'm gonna put another 50, so. To have my 100 for a child. But Chris went and looked at the Mission Possible and didn't have any
There
jackets.
wasn't any jackets there, but I didn't go into detail looking either though.
Right. Have you been to they've got a new
I've been to
thing at
Sam's
Locust
and they
Ford.
have some of the coats for like $12. And see, they're $90 coats for $12.
12 bucks, that's, every one of them should have one of those for
So
12 bucks.
everybody should have a coat.
Okay. What did you just say?
They have the coats for $12, but we'll have to go this week and get them. They're not
Yeah.
gonna stay.
Where they got them?
Sam's.
Oh, well,
Those little girl John Madden coats are $90 and
Those
they're
are cheap.
$12.
I think everyone should have a pair of shoes and everyone should have a jacket. I bought my grandson a jacket today.
Okay.
well, if we can get jackets at Sam's, then
That's
somebody
what we're
needs to
looking
go
to do.
do it.
And, so,
$12 is cheap on that, $10, even $10 for a pair of shoes. At least you got the coat and the shoes covered.
Do you know what size shoes?
We don't know.
not
nothing
yet. I can't get my people to, they want to, and I'm just, but we'll have a cutoff date,
Yep.
But if
We're
Sam's
gonna
has
have
ja-
plenty of kids for that.
Well, but if Sam's
Yeah.
jackets are just on sale for a short time.
Yeah, gotta have them.
Well, she can use the cash and stuff that we have now, somebody can run and get them right quick. If that's what we
We decided
decide.
on
We're gonna
size.
wait to decide after we get
We
into
gotta get
detail more what
signed.
we're gonna
Okay,
do.
we'll do that after
Yeah.
we're finished. Sorry, Mayor.
All right, well, that's a brief update. We'll get in, like I said, further discussion after we conclude the town's business. Okay, my next item, we have, the fire department's not here tonight purposely because to give us an opportunity to discuss having the entire town covered by data cell phone. Right now, there's a small portion of the town that is not covered. But I would like to see the entire town covered by Dallas-Phillipsville, and I think they are receptive to that idea. But I wanted to bring it up and have some discussion on it to see what the rest of the council thinks about it, what their feelings are for it. We'll start with the council. Anybody on the council have any comments?
Does it commit us to anything, any kind of funds or
No,
nothing?
no. It's just expanding their area of coverage by a few hundred yards, actually. But I think they come almost to the town hall now, or very close to it. And it's just going to take it down a couple hundred yards down the road to include everybody in the town.
So they'll go to where the trapper sign says it starts trapping, right?
mm,
Maybe this from the S curve up here to that,
Yeah,
this is considered Jefferson County, right?
right.
Okay.
Well, they do extend into Jefferson County a little bit, but this would make it official. We're asking them to take responsibility for the entire town.
Well, I think this end would be very fortunate to have them.
I think since they are willing to do it,
Mhm.
you know, this part of the town down through here, they don't really have a definite coverage, you know what I'm saying? And I think that if they do, if they know they come under Dallas-Sheffield, then maybe some of the people would feel better or whatever, that they are covered by the
Right.
fire department.
Insurance.
And they are slowly getting upgraded. And, you know, it's gonna take years because you can't do something overnight,
Right.
you know.
Well, as expensive as it is to run a fire
Yeah.
department,
And I think, I think the ones that are in there now, I think they will hold up to their end of the bargain
mhm,
to do all they can for the town.
right? Yeah, the chief had asked me to get a list of addresses from both Jefferson and Blount County. I do have the address list, but I am going to be verifying the list to make sure that everything that should be within the town limits is in the town limits. And, update both Jefferson and Blount County. So I do have those lists on hand. It may be after the holiday before I get to it, but I have to start verifying the addresses. So the council, my take is the council is acceptable to the idea.
I am.
Okay. All right, do we have a motion to request Dallas-Phillipsville, well, just before?
Can we say, I was on Warrior Fire Department for a while, and when I first got out of the Army, and there was a high turnover of volunteer firefighters,
Mhm.
the chiefs. We need to ask him if he, for some reason, he's out. Can the new chief go in and say, no, I don't want to cover that area? Once they say yes, is it locked in? You know, I would hate for them to do all this work and get it covered and start doing coverage, and then a year later, another chief comes in and says, we ain't covering that.
Yeah.
And then they pull it back. I mean, is that something they can do?
Well, I think that part of the process here is if we ask them to do that, when we get our monthly due, our yearly dues, or donation request,
Right.
that those same requests will be sent to every address in the town and county line. So if they're collecting fire dues from an area, then They're obligated. I mean, I would think that they
And
are.
I hope they go to a mandatory
Yeah.
dues. I mean, that
Yeah,
way, if they're getting money, they're not gonna stop covering that area.
Right,
I mean, that way that we know 100% sure, hey, the whole town of County Line is gonna be covered,
Yeah.
not just Blunt County.
It's gonna help your insurance too.
Yeah, so to help everybody's.
okay.
Don't they have to go before the Blunt County? Don't they have to clear this to the Blunt
They have to go
County?
through the state.
Or the state?
Well, I
They have
think
to
there's
apply to
a,
get it?
there is a Blount County Fire Association.
Blunt County, then state, and I think federal, if I'm not mistaken. I wanna say he said all three of them, he had to,
I know there's some things that he has to do in order
on
to
his
do
side,
it,
right.
including updating the radios or getting the radios tuned for Jefferson County's
Right.
broadcast. But yeah, those are some questions that we can ask, as we discuss this with them.
But that was just something I would, I would hate for us to do all this and him do all that work, and
and then
if something happens, they go, oh, we're not doing that, we're not covering Jefferson County.
okay.
But if they're collecting dues,
That,
taxes from when you pay your property tax,
yeah.
isn't that when they collect it?
No,
We pay the,
mandatory, probably, I believe, if I understand that, how the new fire district in Hayden, the Hayden area, the West Blount, is they still send out their notifications and to collect their annual dues.
They
And
usually
they're
come in
supposed-
April.
Yeah, they're supposed to be paid in April.
Yeah, so, I mean, they still have to send it out. Now, I have heard of towns that had water, it was covered by waterworks, town-wide by the same water supply,
Right.
that they could add a monthly charge to their bill to collect for fire dues. I don't think we could do that because not everybody
Right.
is on the same water system. All right, go ahead.
But it answered a question that the gentleman had right there on the front. If Blount County Fire Association and the EMT Association approves it, and they sign off on it, like he's talking about, if somebody else come in as a new chief, they can't stop it unless they vote back on it again. You see what I'm saying?
Right,
Cause my nephew's over the Blount County Fire Rescue Squad. And, he'd like to come down here and talk to y'all. But, he works very like that. He is certified by the state on everything you can do concerning fire. Hazmat and everything.
mhm.
And he's very good. But another question, who's gonna be the backup for Dallas Central?
Palmerdale?
No, we don't look at
Locust Fork.
Palmerdale.
He said Locust Fork.
Locust Fork, I
Locust Fork
think
backs
is,
them up, he said.
Why can't Trapper back them up? They got a pretty good little fire department right now. They going pretty strong.
I don't know whether they've got that mutual agreement. I don't know what the politics are there, but generally they have to have a mutual agreement between fire departments to cover each other.
Well, he said Locust Fork because they just went to an aid.
Yeah,
There is a manned,
Yeah, they're people.
Yeah, they got one person.
they got one man or two, I can't remember how many he said, one or two for day shift
right.
that has already started.
Fire district.
So that somebody's there all day, during the day. I think it's a 12-hour shift, like 7 to 7,
Yeah,
something like that.
It wouldn't surprise me. But these are all good questions, and
Another question,
we can
buddy.
probably wait until they're here,
Right.
where they can actually answer some of these questions. So maybe it'd be best we just, it appears that we are in favor of doing so.
Oh,
if we
absolutely.
got some assurances that it, once it takes place, it stays in place.
Another question is talking about fire district. Won't that have to be voted on? I mean, I'm just asking a question, cause I know we voted on it one time, and everybody down in here voted against it. I mean, it got outvoted. It come up at the election.
Well, you mean, you're talking about the mandatory, or forming a fire district like West Blount.
The rest blow up Pine Mountain, real loud. And they getting, right now, they getting all kind of, grants. In fact, Pine Mountain just got a brand new truck.
Yeah, I mean, to make the dues mandatory, that would be an election. That would require an election. Other than that, asking, or having the fire districts redrawn, I don't know, I don't think that requires a vote, but,
I'm talking about the
Check
fire
it.
district. I'm talking about making it
Establishing-
mandatory.
oh, okay. Yeah, that would definitely require an election, to vote that in. And I think that, that is the plan eventually for Dallas-Southville. That they do want to go to a mandatory system, but we're not there yet. And they're not there yet. So, I would certainly, personally, I would support a mandatory dues.
Well,
We've always paid.
let me give you a little information. I know for the fact Pine Mountain sold 2 houses on the courthouse doorstep not too long ago. One of them had 16 rooms in it and 5 baths. The guy bought it for $7,000 to pay the taxes on it, the fire dues. Cause Pine Mountain, they hadn't paid them in so many years, so they had the right to sell it.
Well, hope that never happens here, but.
I hope it does. Some of these trailers down there below the house.
Yeah, that's a
Shut
different
up,
story.
Larry, son.
That's a different story. All right, so it's, if the council is agreeable, we'll table this until the fire department's present again, and then we can pursue some of these questions with them.
Okay. So, table.
Well, I know the fire chief said that he was going through all the channels to get,
Yeah,
And he has.
everything.
And I'm good with, hey,
He
if we
has.
can do it, that's a year, and it got changed back, hey, for a year, we had full service.
Yeah.
I mean,
we've got good
the amount of
coverage.
time, I mean, that's a question I'd like to ask you,
Yeah,
but the service, absolutely, I think every citizen in County Line deserves the same that Blount County get in Jefferson County.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. All right, so we'll table that until a later date. All right, that's all the old business that I have. I do have one piece of new business. I know that we're not all Alabama fans here, but just out of courtesy to all football fans,
Including you and
We
me.
are not
Including me.
changing our meeting date.
whoever plays in the national championship game is on January the 8th, which was the second Monday of January. And my suggestion is that we postpone our meeting one day to the 9th of January. To allow, because I don't want to be sitting here by myself on Monday night.
I hear we broke.
Well, I don't want Scott to be here by himself.
I was to say, you don't come
Well, poor Scott, he don't have a key to get in,
I'll
yeah.
be sitting out in the cold.
Anyway,
go.
so it's my suggestion that we move our meeting date until the 9th of January.
Anybody have
At
a vote?
7 o'clock.
I don't have a vote.
So,
I make a motion, we move it one day for you football fans.
I'm in agreement.
all right, we have a motion and we have a second. Myrtle made the motion, Steve seconded. All in favor? All All right, carried unanimously. All right, so we will have, our next meeting will be January the 9th, 2018. Wow, 2018,
Wow,
yeah, at 7 o'clock. All right, no petitions, applications, field communications, no resolutions or ordinance. Any other public comments?
Well, Mayor, I've got something I need to bring up, and I guess I should have just brought it up with you and me. It's about, building license. You know,
Building
the other
permits?
council, they had a number that to pay for, not business license, but a builder's license, a building
Building
house.
permit?
Building permit.
Yeah,
And they had it as one amount, and then they changed it to where it was like for every outlet, every this, every that, whatever. So when they did that ordinance and changed it, is there any way that we can, what I'm trying to get to is to give a building permit for people that you don't have to have, like they did it to put Van out of business, is what they did. And they were charging, I've got it all in there in the book, we can read it and see what we think, but
to change that, a new ordinance would have to be passed.
it'd have to be what?
We have to pass a new ordinance to replace it.
Okay. That's all we'd have to do is to do a new ordinance and then the council vote on it? Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Mhm. But until then, we do have to, like it or not, abide by the existing ordinance.
Well, they had an amount in there that they charged and then they changed it, so.
Wasn't it $6,000?
Uh-huh.
Wasn't it $6,000?
Oh, that's what they put for Van.
Yeah.
But
For a
no,
permit.
before that it was like $150, so,
Well,
building permit. But we'll look at it. I've got it all out there to where you can read it and see what it says and everything. And then
Is
you
he
get
wanting to
down
buy a
the-
permit now?
Huh?
Is he wanting to buy a permit now?
Well, we've got a man building a house right behind us over there. And they've asked me about a building permit, and I didn't know what to tell them, how much to tell them it would be. They paid for the electric
connection.
connection thing and paid me
Inspection.
for that, but I didn't know what to tell them for a building permit. And he's about got the house built,
Right.
so, you know. But I just I kept forgetting it about what I needed to do, and it's, but I think the mayor and I need to look at the book and discuss it and see what needs to be done. Because, I mean, they were charging so much for every plug and every,
$2 if something a plug.
Every
Oh.
spigot,
it was
Yeah.
everything.
water, every
It
water.
was spigot.
All right,
So
we'll discuss it, I'll read it and see
We'll
what
read
it
it and then
says.
we'll bring it next time. We'll do it. But I mean, I just knew that you and I needed to talk about it or read it, what was in there now, so.
You got,
Cause I have no idea what to charge the man.
well, let me look at the ordinance
Okay,
and see what it has to say. I've never read it. But I will do that. If you will make me a copy of it, I will take it home and
okay,
study
there's
it.
a copy. There's a, yeah, okay.
Okay.
One more thing
See-
before we, I'm sorry.
I would just like to suggest, it's just absurd, for the permit. I mean, it's just, something that's just out in left field. But, you know, in retrospect, if there's any way when you do the ordinance, you can go back and grandfather the house in now,
Mhm.
you know, I don't know how exactly you could do that.
I don't know.
But,
We can check.
I have to talk to Greg and see what,
Okay. Cause it's just out in left field. I think it's $6,000, I really do.
It was,
By the time you get through buying everything, it was just,
oh yeah, for the
That's
faucets, you had so much for this faucet. and so
Yeah.
much
it
for
was
that.
American Standard Building Code, which is just, it makes, Birmingham and Mountain Brook look like nothing, their codes.
All right.
Navigational code, that's what it was, it comes with navigational code.
All right, well, I'll study that and see what we can do, what needs to be done. Steve, you got something?
Yeah, I don't want no discussion on this, but I'd like to put it in everybody's minds. This is the last month of 2017. We're going into a new year next year. I think our next goal for the next year is to get us a shelter built out here.
Yep.
Whatever we need to do.
Yep.
We got funds coming in. Just look at it. I'm not saying we got to do it, but let's all kind of head that up and see what we can do about that.
Or a storm shelter.
Storm
out here.
shelter.
Everybody else is getting them
Yeah,
everywhere.
everybody else is
They
getting
just got
everywhere.
that brand new one in Warrior they just built.
They're
How come we
building
can't get
another
one?
They've got
I know.
two in Warrior.
Well, how
They're
come we?
building a third.
Right.
Well, they've got
Oh,
grants,
we
and
get some.
we've gotta find somebody that
The
can.
socioeconomic guideline here is what knocks us out every time.
What do you mean? What's that mean?
Well, it
It
means that
means
you've
they're
got
not rich.
haves and you've got have-nots, and there's nothing here. And they're gonna go by this. And I think it's lower, and we do have lower income more than higher income. They have no income.
Right.
So, but we don't have anybody,
Yeah,
those,
The
look at
average-
Douglas, I applied for those, and they were real interested, and that's what knocked us out of it. Have you seen those
well,
at Douglas?
that ran the same thing when it's trying to seek funds or grants to pave Copper's Hill. Is the social economic average income is such in Tiny Line that we're well above poverty level.
Please.
Well, these people don't do income tax, they have no income, but they're here, they're here. I mean, I don't know how we could, if we had some kind of study or something, we could count
Well,
them.
it's the census that they establish everything.
Mhm.
They use the census data to establish these levels. And
Why can they count?
Do they not go to those people and get him in on the census?
they have accounted for them, and they are counted in the census. But yeah, it puts us at a disadvantage because Coppersville, the income level on Coppersville knocked us out of any kind of grant possibilities because the grant, I think the level was something like 35,000 was the threshold, and the average household income on Coppersville was in the 50s.
So you only have about 4 people filing taxes, and the other 25 didn't.
Well, we got us a new regime up there in Washington, so maybe things has changed.
Yes.
All right, is everybody supposed to vote tomorrow?
Yep, everybody's gonna vote tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna,
I vote for
You
Sue
gonna vote
Francis,
for?
I'm right, who is?
Sue's gonna be working the polls tomorrow.
No.
You're not gonna work the polls?
No.
okay. All right, well, yeah, that's something we can certainly look into, and see what we can, what happens. But most of the grants they're not 100% grants. And they're usually something like 80%. And that means that we have to come up with the 20%.
Right.
And even though we do have a few dollars in the bank today, when you're talking about these shelters, or $300,000 to build one of those things, that's a hefty chunk of change.
And they just give you so much and then we have to match or.
Yeah, we'd have to probably borrow the money.
But I'm not saying we just,
Well, we can start.
politics is
Well, I mean,
slow.
Yeah, it's slow, and,
Yeah.
but it's something that we can start looking at,
Right.
absolutely.
It's something you could hire a grant writer that goes through and finds these programs.
Yeah.
We've never had a grant.
Right.
Therefore, we're gonna go to the top of the list. You've never had a federal grant, you go to the top of the list immediately. And since we've never had one, if there's a grant out there
They're
for
gonna find
this, maybe
A lot of
Port,
times there's
Port
obscure
Bellies
ones.
or something, but you hire them, and that's what they do, is write grants. But I mean, you know, it's
And
about
they know.
a grant,
But they know what they're doing.
but they know what they're doing, and then they get paid when you get the grant back, or you may have some up front, but I never could get anybody to cooperate with that. But they have the data that they can look in all these programs and see if we could get one. But if we could, you know, anything, we would more than qualify, because we never had anything, never. And we do have a lot of socioeconomic, we have, I mean, we've got poverty level people here like in Kenya, you know, live on $40,000 a year. Substandard.
Okay. Well, that's on our agenda for the year then.
Okay, that's good enough for me.
Okay. Anything else?
I make a motion with adjourn.
Buddy, I need to share something with y'all.
Is this, you
They
made
stealing
yours?
bicycles out of yards on Days Ferry Road. They got 2 Friday night.
If they steal my bicycle, I'm gonna be mad.
They said you got it, Sue.
Can't have
They said I stole it?
But,
Y'all need two to ride.
well, that's what I said.
Well, Santa Claus, he's on.
Mine
the
is
way.
still stolen, I know.
But anyway, I wanted to share that with y'all where y'all know what's going on. Because they went up right to the front porch of my mother's old house that got one. They ran around the back of the trailer of the other house that got one. And they found them laid up at the stop sign. They busted the wheels on them.
Well, I know that, you're taping this, and I'm not gonna call any names, but we have a thief extraordinaire in traffic vicinity. And if he knocks on your door, it's a he looks very nice and everything, but I mean, he's hit 2 on Cobblesdale Road, went in there and got everything they had.
Yep.
So,
He wants to come
FYI.
in the house.
Huh?
He needs to get, whatever he's doing, he wants to come in the house.
yeah, I might want to come in the house, use phone, cars broke down, or,
No, don't let anybody do that.
no.
Nobody.
One of those funky hollers
But
pushes
he's
the way
right
in.
here, he's working this area.
Okay.
One of those funky hollers pushed the door open on a lady. She cracked the door, he just went in.
You mean he goes in while they're there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just push the door
This
The guy I'm
guy-
talking about, I don't know that does, but he's on he does strong arm.
Okay, all right. And let's get back to the business here. All right, we had a motion to adjourn.
Eugene
I'll
seconded.
Eugene seconded.
I got it.
All in favor? All right, motion carried. This meeting is adjourned. Appreciate everybody coming. Thank you.
Have you got my that?